if you all have been paying attention to the social media scene and particularly influencer boxing, that type of scene, you would have noticed that KSI and Jake Paul had a phone conversation, or I believe it wasn't even a phone conversation, it was like KSI joined like a Twitter live, or Jake Paul told him to let him into a Twitter live, something like that, and they had a bit of a back and forth. Now Jake Paul has recently just posted this footage online. It was like surfacing all over TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, everywhere, but now it's been like the full thing's been posted by Jake Paul, and I've just had a listen. I kind of am agreeing with Jake Paul now. I used to absolutely hate Jake Paul. I used to not be able to stand him one bit. And I really don't mind KSI either. I truly don't mind them. However, I think Jake Paul kind of has him here. I feel like Jake Paul has him in this situation. Has him with the facts. Has him with just general sense and general just information, like just speaking truth. And you know, JJ had a few good responses, but I'm gonna quickly speak to you about a few of them right now. Okay, so phone conversation starts, and he's like, you know, a lot of the argument originally was Jake Paul saying, "Look, I gave you the opportunity to fight me for free on 2 weeks' notice." So Jake Paul was drinking, partying. He said, "I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll fight you for free. I'll be there." And KSI came out saying, and you should never say anything about the commission or anything like that when it comes to a verbal exchange with someone like Jake Paul who's around this. He was like, "Oh, the commission would never allow that," as if the commission would allow that, saying that's why he didn't fight. And Jake Paul's instant comeback was, they let Tyron Woodley fight him on 9 days' notice. Fair play to him, that's true. You see it all the time. Short notice replacements. Sean Strickland is fighting this weekend. He has 4 days notice. You know, so I'm just saying. You know, KSI saying like, I'm gonna fight you, but you know, you're arguing all the terms. Like the ring sizes of Jake Paul says, I don't care what the ring size is, all this and that. And I kind of believe him. I truly think Jake Paul just kind of knows he's better than KSI. He knows he's above him. And the only reason KSI wants to wait to the end of the year is so I think he can get that little bit better. So he can maybe hope in that time Jake has 2 fights and maybe loses one. Then comes out saying, it's pointless now. He's lost, fam. He's lost. His hype is over, fam. I wanted to take it all away. It's over now, fam. Innit? Now, if you guys have seen the TikTok, I've said, I hate how KSI is pretending to be a little London hard lad. Just shut your mouth, KSI. Yes, TikTok, he's successful. Yes, he's this. Yes, he's that. But shut your mouth. Like, genuinely shut up, KSI. You grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. If you came out saying to everybody, look, I'm training boxing. I'm coming out here to perform a sport that I am learning, and I'm going to knock this man out. Fair enough. But don't come at it with the narrative of I'm a Londoner, fam. I'm this, I'm that. It just pisses me off. And I know KSI fans are so loyal to their boy, and it's like a cult mentality, and I really respect that. I was a KSI fan. I still am a KSI fan. But you have to look at the facts. You have to look at what this is. KSI's dug himself into a massive hole here, and I do believe Jake Paul KOs him. Don't think he's tough. I believe he's gritty and he really works hard, but he's not tough. Like, he's not that guy that's gonna, you know, he's strong mentally. He is strong mentally, but I just feel like KSI isn't cut from the same cloth as Jake Paul. I feel like when it comes to hard work, everything, Jake Paul has it, and I also feel like he's cut from that kind of cloth growing up around his dad. His dad's a crazy weirdo as well. Growing up wrestling, growing up competitive. America is such a competitive state. Growing up for like young people, especially in Ohio, there's so much talented wrestlers coming out of Ohio every single like year, and also MMA fighters coming out of Ohio more recently. You know, Stipe Miocic is a perfect example of that. You know, wrestled all through high school, all this and that, and now he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. So I'm just here to say this though. KSI is saying, "Oh, I'll fight you at the end of the year." I said end of the year. KSI has 2 more fights this year and fights Jake Paul at the end of the year. Fair enough. I just feel like this isn't going to happen. I just feel like it won't happen. Honestly, we're not going to know until after summer, that type of thing, when something might get announced for like November, December. I think KSI needs to just do it now. I think he just needs to bite the bullet, train fucking hard, and go out there and try knock him out. I just can't. I feel like Jake Paul's a big guy. As soon as KSI also hasn't been in there with people his size. You know, Joe Weller was an alright exception, except he didn't throw a punch. Swarm's unfit, 2 weeks notice. Pineda, not his size. Logan Paul, much bigger than him. That's a very notable win, and I kind of forgot about that one just a second ago. That's a completely fair enough. 2 tough fights, and he's shown grit, he showed heart. But Logan Paul also didn't really throw a proper punch. He didn't really throw a right hand. If Jake Paul is throwing uppercuts in the clinch against Anderson Silva and just taking one, okay, take one, I'm going to give one back, and he's just waiting. That's such high-level boxing for how limited time he's been in there, and it was a really good fight against Silva regardless of age. KSI and Jake Paul, if they're swinging in the pocket at each other, I put my money on Jake Paul every single day. He's shown power. He's shown calmness under pressure. He's shown being wobbled and just eating that shit. People think KSI's got this granite chin because he hasn't been dropped in sparring. Mate. Okay, whatever. That's just that point in itself is just ridiculous. You typically don't get dropped in sparring until you're at the highest level. Second, right? Logan Paul caught him with a flush uppercut from a big guy, a big man, and he went down. He then got back up and he was wobbling all over the place. If Logan Paul didn't do a little tap on the back of his head, that wobble would not have been excused by the referee, and the referee would have then been taking more notice of KSI. Also, that little dink to the back of the head didn't make him wobble that much. He was caught clean, and we've seen him visibly hurt. We've never seen Jake Paul visibly hurt, and I believe Jake Paul's faced much harder opponents, faster and more athletic opponents. Yes, the way he dismantled Ben Askren was ridiculously embarrassing. I know I'm kind of slagging KSI off a lot here. I respect him completely. He's done amazing things in the space. He's the biggest thing ever. He's the biggest YouTuber, biggest everything, biggest influencer, great musician when he puts his heart to it, within reason. But I'm sorry. I just feel like Jake Paul has this one. I just feel like this phone conversation has just kind of shown me that Jake Paul just wants to hurt him. Jake Paul is struggling to get fights. KSI isn't struggling to get fights. And I don't know why that is. I truly don't know why that is. Jake Paul's built himself up to the point where if you lose to him, you're that guy. KSI's built himself up to where if you beat him, you're that guy. Jake Paul is just like, fuck, I can't lose to him. And everybody with KSI is like, fuck, if I can beat him. It's a different mentality when it comes to them both. Different personalities, different body types, different individuals. Everything about them's different. Except they both knock each other out. I think Jake Paul knocks KSI out in one round. I think it's a slow start, then he catches him and just knocks him out in a round. The undisputed king of YouTube boxing, and now he's going to go on to fight MMA and maybe win a boxing world title, in his mind. In another year, KSI will have improved, but Jake Paul will have improved. This time next year, they will have fought, hopefully. And we'll have a better answer for you. Comment your opinions, comment your thoughts. Thank you.